listen, appreciate you guys hanging with us. We're going to do some quick Thursday Night Football preview and then wrap up our show here. I'm going to jump into it because we got a fun which should be a fun game, I think. I don't think this will be a cursed Thursday Night Football game from Amazon Prime Video. But we got Lions versus Packers. Should be a fun one to watch. It's been some exciting teams early on. My must start for Thursday night is Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm holding strong here. Even if David Montgomery does play, I think Gibbs is still somebody you have to have in your lineup. He gets the opportunities. He's going to find the end zone, guys. I promise. He will get there someday, and I would almost say it's probably going to be Thursday night. We'll see. Bijan Robinson carved up the Packers defense. Well, I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a good opportunity here on Thursday night. I think he's somebody you can start with confidence. I believe that Gibbs has a good Thursday night game and starts out your week well if you're a Jahmyr Gibbs owner. Plain and simple. There you go. Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's a must start.
Yeah, we're both still very high on Gibbs. It hasn't been the supreme fantasy outlook we hoped it would be to start the season, but Gibbs is talented. He's still very talented. He's still very involved on offense, game scripts, strategies, game plans, whatever you want to call it. Gibbs is still going to be fine. I'm still starting him.
Yep.
He's great. He's going to be fine.
100%. I'm excited about your must start, and I mean, understandably, we talked about him already, Wes, but hit me with it.
Yeah, it's funny that we get to do Lions again for a Thursday night preview, but the Sam Laporta was my risky start in week 1, and he's been promoted to my must start, and I'm happy to say that he is panning out exactly the way that we suspected he would from the first couple weeks. He's actually being the player that we heard in camp, and so is Gibbs too. I mean, I read about Gibbs being they painted it as like the talent is there, but don't forget he's still a rookie, so you're going to see some ups and downs in his play. But Laporta is the number 2 option for Jared Goff, and Amon-Ra has got to thank Sam Laporta for this. It's like, thank you, because you're going to help me succeed and take the weight off of me. Laporta is going to be a great red zone opportunity for the rest of the season. Laporta is a lock for me as a top 10 on the finish for the season. I think he's fantastic, and you must start him.
I agree with everything. Sam Laporta is awesome. I've got him in a dynasty league, and everyone
Lucky.
Coming into the season after week 1, after week 2, everyone's like, "Hey, is Laporta? You moving on Laporta? And is Laporta available?" No, he's not. He's not at all. I've got Travis Kelce in that league, and I'm like, no, in this dynasty league that I'm playing in for many years, no. As soon as Kelce ages out, Laporta is just. I'm starting Laporta in my flex in this league because he's just that good of a guy. He's so solid. So Sam Laporta is a must start. I agree. Risky start. Going to go to the other side of the football here. Green Bay Packers' new starting quarterback, Jordan Love, is my risky start. Jordan Love has been awesome for fantasy football. Here's the stat that I want to take a look at, that I want to point out. Maybe this won't be exactly what we want. He's thrown 7 touchdowns through 3 weeks. And he's ran one in as well. That's a lot for a guy that is like not really lighting it up in the yardage mark or anything like that. Obviously, Aaron Jones has been out since from the last 2 games. Jordan Love is completing only 54% of his passes. That's like in the area of like Desmond Ridder and Baker Mayfield. Guys like that it's like, I wouldn't really start that guy in my fantasy lineup. I think Jordan Love has had some good luck with touchdowns in his first 3 games, and that has made him really, really solid fantasy player to this point. Those touchdowns, I think, are going to run out at some point. I don't think he will consistently put up 3 passing touchdowns in a game and consistently run a touchdown in. So that's why he's my risky start. He very well could, in what should be a high-scoring game, throw for 3 touchdowns. He seems to be hitting a stride with Romeo Doubs in the regular season. He might get Christian Watson back. Luke Musgrave is a sleeper right now. Jordan Love's just a bit too risky for me. I'm personally not going to play him in leagues where I have him. I just think the touchdown luck runs out at some point. And so that's where I'm at. Jordan Love is my risky start.
Aiden Hutchinson's a monster, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
also true.
I mean, let's think. The Bears have nobody on defense. The Falcons have a good rush defense, but they're not incredible in the pass. And then, I mean, Cameron Jordan is a future Hall of Famer, so he's no joke either. But I think this will be this probably is the toughest defense they're about to face. Yeah. I think that might factor into it as well. So it's funny, because my risky start is the quarterback on the other side of this matchup here, and that's Jared Goff. And we try to specify if it's a good risk or a bad risk. This is a risk, because here's the thing. The Packers have actually done pretty well against QBs. And even if you take out Jordan Love, Derek Carr wasn't just dominating. Desmond Ridder did the best, and he got a little more than 20 points. And yeah, that's fine, but it's not the kind of situation where it feels like, oh, Jared Goff is a starting quarterback in fantasy. But he could be. He really could be. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a hoss. Sam Laporta is a boss. But Jared Goff, here's one thing about him that I learned, because I was so freaking pissed off at Daniel Jones, as we talked about early in the episode, of why he's so bad and why Darren Waller is failing. Daniel Jones is 29th in passing yards per attempt. Jared Goff is second in the NFL. Second in passing yards per attempt, only behind Tua. That gives me enough confidence to consider him as a starter, but he's a risk because, well, he just is. Sometimes it's like 15 points, and other times he's going to push for 30. So yeah. I wish you luck if you choose to start Jared Goff for the beginning of your Week 4 matchup.
Yeah, no notes. It's a risk in and of itself. That is it. It's a risk that we can't lean one way or another here. We just don't know how it's going to go. Jump into my don't starts here real quick. Don't start A.J. Dillon. We've seen him get the opportunity at 15 carries 2 weeks in week 2. He was the guy with Aaron Jones out. Aaron Jones may be returning. I get that you may be in a desperate situation. You might have to and just hope that he falls into the end zone at one point. But he hasn't been good in the lead back role. And so we have no reason to believe that even if Aaron Jones returns in a limited capacity, that he will then be somehow the guy that is just absolutely going to get you your 25 points. We've seen those games out of him before in his rookie season. Not going to happen on Thursday night. Do not start A.J. Dillon. That's it.
It's a bit of a disappointment in the last 2 years. I mean, last year we thought A.J. Dillon was going to get 50 catches, or it was just going to be this amazing, or 50 targets, whatever it was. We thought he was going to have a fantastic year. He was being drafted in like the 5th, 4th round, and he just didn't pan out. And now, I mean, Jordan Love is not Aaron Rodgers and yada yada, but I mean, man, I feel like Dillon should have been just this great backup, almost like the way Tony Pollard took over for Zeke. It was like Aaron Jones is still succeeding, or he succeeded in the one game, but a bit of a letdown by A.J. Dillon. My don't start is Lions wide receiver Josh Reynolds, who put up a goose egg and had 0 targets. And that's not the main reason I'm saying don't start him. The main reason is because that is too much of a risk to begin your Week 4 matchup with someone that could put up 0 points or get you 18 points. And this is someone that does not have the reputation of a Tyler Lockett or a Devonta Smith or a T. Higgins, because it feels like T. Higgins is boom or bust right now. Josh Reynolds is not that guy. Don't take the shot just because the first couple of weeks he was doing well. I'll throw in Khalif Raymond too. I mean, Josh Reynolds is not someone that you want to risk to begin and get an advantage in your matchup. Don't start him. Kind of throwing in Khalif Raymond too, but I'm going to stay with Josh Reynolds. Say don't start him.
No, I agree, and I'll just say I think the upside that we potentially saw for Josh Reynolds, it's gone into the pocket of Sam Laporta, and so I think the upside that is there, that we think, oh, maybe he can get 5 targets and a touchdown and whatever. Like, I think that's Laporta's gig now, and so Reynolds is not the guy you want to take a risk on here to start out your week.